It is another wonderful day here in Fort Worth, Texas. We are getting out of the car. The ECU for Evan's SC300 is here today. So we are going to get to work. Let's do this. Alright, so we're lifting up the car right now. We have to install the filter into the actual fuel filter itself, into the canister itself. Tighten up a few nuts and bolts real quick.
Got to get a clamp onto that return line. And then I think we're ready to start playing with the ECU. Alright. Okay, so we got our filter ready to go in. So this actually has a it's kind of dual filtration. There's a magnet here at the front of the filter, and then it goes through the normal, you know, stainless filter. But this has got to go towards the inlet of the fuel filter. So while there's no direction on this unit, I'm gonna decide that the end with the 0 here is my inlet of the filter. So I'm gonna put that, boom, face down in there. And it's already got the O-rings on both sides. Push that in and hopefully not pop myself in the face. There we go.
So the 0 is my inlet. So on the camera, it either fights you or you feel like you're retracted. Okay, that's definitely.
Brian Little.
Alright, so the fuel filter, it has the filter?
Yeah, it's all in there.
The fuel filter has the filter. Yeah, that's a tough one.
It was a fake filter before, just the canister. But yeah, now it's complete. Everything is all tight there. I'm gonna check this fitting here, and then we just got to get a clamp on that return line and check those couple more fittings up front, and then we'll be ready to start playing with the. I didn't want to get ahead of myself and start playing with the ECU and outputs, and then turn on a fuel pump that was gonna have, like, you know, 6 leaks along the way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna finalize this, and then we move to the ECU.
Alright, so what did you want to point out?
Well, right here, there's the e-brake.
My bad.
Right here, there's the e-brake cable that it had some zip ties on it, but my bet is that they were hooked right there and that they've come away. But there's a drive shaft here, so this is obviously not a safe position here. So I need to get this up and make sure that I tie it in a way that they can't just slide down off how they did here. Yeah. Because that will be
major problem.
In this case, it's just the e-brake, so it wouldn't be like probably an oh god scenario, but you know, it could be. So we're gonna get those strapped up better.
What'd you say?
Huh?
Huh? What'd you say? Don't know.
It's not fun. I don't think I checked if there's an oil drain band bolt in there right now.
You might be pouring it out on the other end.
Make sure there's not oil just dumping out on the ground right
yeah,
now.
let's make sure. Come on, don't see anything.
Okay, that's a good sign.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So we got the handy plug and play harness to go with Soarer or SC300 chassis. So that'll plug in right here, and then these will plug directly into our ECU. It also comes with plugs if you want to, like, make your own harness, or you're trying to integrate that with your existing harness. But I'd recommend getting the plug and play adapter. It makes life a lot easier. You also see it's got the onboard map sensor. I like that. And it also has, like, onboard wideband control, so you don't have to buy a separate, you know, AEM wideband unit with this. You just need to get the sensor that goes along with it, and then you have, you know, kind of everything built into one. So there's a couple bonuses there between the map sensor and the wideband control unit.
That's nice. And this is the ECU Masters Black Series.
Yeah, it's a Pretty
It's a pretty good looking unit.
pretty svelte, small box. Yeah, I like it.
Looks good. It's the brains behind the brawn.
Alright, so let's see with the plug and play adapter. I've already unplugged the original ECU here. So snap, snap. That is
Snap,
in.
snap. Man, that's easy.
Now we're ready for this. And now we've already run our vacuum line through cabin here. This is from the intake manifold, and this is straight from the intake manifold. I really like, when possible, to have a dedicated line for the map sensor. It's also, I like to have a dedicated line for the wastegate too, when possible. So anyways, this is coming, and you got to make very sure that, you know, this line is run through with no pinches or anything like that. And optimally, it'll be as short as possible. We will shorten this up in a little bit once we tuck the ECU back up and away. But right now, there's our map sensor line.
And that's probably to give you the best pressure reading.
Yeah.
Make it as short as possible.
Make it as accurate and quick responding as possible. Yeah. Cable to go with it. Satisfying snick of the cables there.
Yep. Very satisfying.
Get our map sensor line.
So what are you getting power and ground to right now?
The wideband and the boost gauge both need
Power.
those items added, yeah.
So, me and Ethan have some super exciting news. Why don't you go ahead and do it and just show them?
Well, I definitely got synchronization on the while cranking, you know, just testing outputs and whatnot before we actually run it. So it's showing all signs of go. I think it probably, depending on fueling, will start right now.
That is exciting! Nothing better. Here we go. We have life! Yes! We have life! Awesome. Hey, there we go, Ethan.
It runs and it even moves.
It runs and it even moves, because moving this welded diff drift car on its own power is impossible. All right. So where are we at right now?
So now I gotta do, I didn't let it run very long. I don't like to be there with it running and not here
Over
to
here,
check
yeah.
stuff. Obviously we still got a couple coolant lines we need to hook up. It does have oil in it. It's not full of water yet. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do something here, because that is, oh yeah, it actually does touch, in fact, right now. So
Yep.
we're gonna have to do something there so that doesn't beat up his pretty radiator hose. But that is a good first start. It sounded pretty solid, and I'm happy with that for the moment.
Now it's time to get to what you're actually good at. All right, so this is something that me and Ethan are gonna look at right here. This hose is way too close to this fan. What are we gonna do? I got some washers or something on the backside.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the fan off here and put washers behind each one of those 4 bolts. We just need a little bit more clearance to get, I mean, it doesn't actually touch right now, but I think with some flexing of the blades it will, so just need a little bit more clearance.
Ryan Little.
Definitely all tight. Alright, did we actually gain any room here? I mean, we gained some room. It honestly seems even we should have gained the entire width of that washer, but I mean, it looks like it'll clear. It's attached to the motor, so I mean it shouldn't be able to move too much, but it's going to be moving the same as this piece itself, so hopefully that will stay clear. We'll keep a close eye on that.
Well, I still wanted to back out.
I just don't think it's long enough. I mean, it fits, it threads in, but it's like, I think it's like 1 or 2 threads in.
Pull one.
It threaded in, it felt proper?
Yeah,
it
it's
just...
It's not long, and so it feels like it's not...
Oh, you need longer than that then?
Yeah.
I think it's just catching 1 thread.
I thought the other one that I had was maybe too long, but...
Why don't you pull out one of the good ones?
I'll grab a different one.
I mean, it screws in. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other ones. Actually, it's in.
He says it's in.
No, it's in. Okay.
It's amazing how all the old bolts from the old cars make new cars. That's the best part. Alrighty.
Living dangerous, man, with the white shirt, the white...
I was actually about to comment how he does not go home with grease all over everything. The white on the white.
Didn't really think about it, but...
Yeah, it happens. Oh.
Read this.
God, I love those shirts. Yeah, I don't give a heck. I think that Evan should have the honors of starting it. I think so, for sure.
Down.
Yeah, down. Even though we technically have already gotten the first start, we just have not gotten the first start with Evan.
So
yeah, he didn't hear it, so it doesn't count yet.
If a car runs in an empty shop,
does it actually run? The whole tree falling? Oh, that's funny.
I'm glad you were with me.
Last couple zip ties, last couple nuts and bolts. And I know I keep saying it, but look how much better this whole area looks now. All the clips gone.
Tried to clean up what we could.
Yeah, tried to clean up what we could.
I got those crappy twins out. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
For the first time in what? It started September 7th, 8th, something like that. It was almost.
Don't get me lying.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting on the key.
I'm sitting on the key.
Yeah.
I do that very same mistake
Well-
all the time. In my butt right now.
The key's in your butt.
Hey, your wire does that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
AFR is good. Oh my god. Here we go.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. It is so loud. Yeah.
I'm like, this is better. Yeah, what does that sound like?
It has no tuning at all right now. Right? It's a main startup, so. Oh my god, dude. It's alive! She's alive!
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Holy shit. Did you see that?
What are you doing?
Man, that was crazy.
In your glasses just blew off.
That literally made no sense, man.
All right, so is this first plug up?
I mean, this is first plug up with intention of changing things.
Yes.
First of many.
Looked like it was idling quite rich, and then it was really lean as soon as you rev out at all.
So right now you're going to do some like pre-tuning?
Yeah.
Cool. You guys actually explain how to do this kind of stuff on your channel. Like you're about to do the pre-tuning type stuff.
Yes.
You've done
Yeah.
some stuff?
That's exactly what we do.
I'm actually psyched to see some of this. Again, I've said this in the past few. I don't know if I've actually introduced Ryan
Yeah,
yet, but
nice
this is
to meet
my
you
buddy
guys.
Ryan, and
Nice to
this
meet
is
y'all.
a lot of you guys have been watching some of their videos, and I appreciate you guys. But if you want to see some more of the in-depth stuff, the whole ECU install they did literally pretty much everything I didn't do on this car. I want you guys to check them out. It's Trackstar Mediaworks. But anyways, right now Ethan is going to be tuning. He's going to be doing some pre-tuning
You want to run it one more time?
On the ECU so that it can run right.
Alrighty, so Ethan's all plugged up to Evan's SC300 with the new ECU Masters Black ECU.
So this is your fuel table, also known as the VE table, volumetric efficiency. So it shows us right now, like, hey, we're idling right down here.
Yeah.
And so the bottom is the map sensor load. So that's what's being read at the ECU from the vacuum line that we ran straight from the intake manifold. And then the other references, of course, RPM along this side.
Yeah.
So here's where we idle, and then as you're kind of out driving, you'll be hovering in this area, and then when you really rip on it, you'll end up in this top right-hand corner. Yeah. So we've got a good smooth shape to this right now. This shape could end up changing significantly depending on the size of turbo and what gas we're on.
So this is kind of like where you would start.
Yeah, this is just a base map right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I need to get him, we got to get that idle really locked down before I start making any adjustments, so that way we have the set.
Sure. Does the red mean more fuel, or what does the red mean?
Yeah, so in general, this needs some fixing right now, but in general, you'll idle down in, really should be more like 50, 60 VE.
Okay.
Unhappy there, but definitely need to idle it up. But so right now these numbers are a little bit skewed. Once I get the injector size right.
That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
And I have to watch all of this back.
like, let's say, to put it a little bit more simply, so if you have a 2.5 liter motor and you don't have a turbo, so 2.5 liters operating at full tilt should come close to 100% volumetric efficiency.
Sure.
Once you add boost, let's say you add 1 full bar of boost, then that should be almost effectively doubling the size of your motor. So that 2.5 liter will behave practically like a 5 liter.
Interesting.
Once you have a full bar. So if you can throw 2 bar, like 28 more pounds, then you're effectively tripling the size of the motor.
Whoa. All right, that's cool. If Evan understands, then it's probably pretty easy to understand.
Yeah. That's how I always tell them. If I understand it, then they'll understand it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What?
I'm trying to look up for his injectors, I'm trying to look up the dead times for them right now.
When you say dead times, what do you mean?
Sometimes it's called null time or dead time, in battery offset. So it tells not only like the size of the injector, which is 1200 cc, but kind of the dyno plot of the injector, kind of like horsepower. When I say, hey, a car has 400 horsepower, that's the peak horsepower it has. When I describe an injector and say it's a 1000 cc injector, that's the peak flow that it has.
But how does it flow from 0 up to that point?
Yeah, so for voltages varying from 8 volts of battery voltage up to 18 volts of battery voltage, what is the behavior of the injector over that entire range?
Yeah.
Because they're going to be more efficient in certain ranges than others, and your vehicle is dynamically changing the voltage that it's operating at.
That makes sense. That's a good bit of information.
The computer, the ECU, a map of here's the expected injector behavior.
Got it. All right, so we got all the timing figured out.
Yeah, so we were making sure that what we have here, 18 degrees, matches what's actually happening up there, and you can hear how much different the motor sounds now as a result of changing that timing.
Like, you can just hear it now. It's coming.
And it should. I don't want to rev it and scare the shit out of them right now.
All right, let's get this baby on the dyno.